What's up, John?
It's okay to believe you can miss dinner. Go do it. Go see the game.
I know.
Exactly.
I'm leaning that way, believe me.
So, John, you had the call at the end. We're all square headed to the Tar Heel State. Great response by the Caps last night in Game 2 when they were pretty much outclassed in Game 1. What were your main takeaways from the Caps' big win last night on home ice to even the series?
I thought everything was better, and I think Spencer Carberry said that after the game, and we've seen it all year, guys, where every time the Caps hit the ice, I mean, you can have a game that doesn't go your way. And we saw it during the course of the regular season, but we didn't see it very much because they would adjust, they would come out, and they'd find a way to be better the next time. And that's just a good veteran group with a good coaching staff, and they find a way. And you only have to go back to the Montreal series in Game 3 where they weren't very good. They come out in Game 4, and Spencer Carberry pretty much ate Martin St. Louis' lunch and got every change he wanted and every lineup that he wanted, even though he didn't have last change in Montreal, and then they won it in Game 5. So wasn't very surprised. I mean, I think we've seen this time and time again. It is going to be much more difficult now, not having last change against a very good team in Raleigh, but I'm very encouraged. I mean, I really like what they did last night. Carolina's going to keep throwing everything. They're like garbage collectors, man. They just keep throwing everything at the front of the net. Good shot, bad shot, doesn't matter. But the Caps were just as good at them than they were at high danger chances last night. And Logan Thompson's fantastic. So add it all up, great win last night.
Hey, John, has the secret sauce for the Caps through the first 2 games been to try to use the Canes' aggression against them? Because we've seen that in the breakaway goals from both Protas and from the highlight that we just came back in with from Mikey's goal last night. Like, do you think we're going to see more of those breakaways where the Caps like get in a little scrum with them and then they break free and then they use their speed to try to bury one on the other end?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Spencer talked a little bit about that, where they needed to be more aggressive. They've got to take the game to them. I think what went wrong in Game 1 was they played the whole game in their zone, and they couldn't break out pucks, and they really didn't seem as ready for the ramp up from what Montreal was to what Carolina was. But again, last night came out much better. Details are much better. I did like what Spencer said after the game last night, is that, look, I still think this team has another gear, and I think we need to find it in Raleigh. It was much better, and the big but was that you've got to be able to, especially when you're in that hostile environment, and it's going to be nuts down in Raleigh this weekend. You're going to need every bit of that and every detail in your game to be right. And they still have more to give. They really only have to get one down there. Turn it into a best of 3. This was always going to be a long series. Both of these teams are too good not to go long. So it should be a very fun weekend. Get one. If you get 2, that's great. But make sure you get one, come home, and get home ice back.
What have you seen from Ovi so far in this series?
Not as much in terms of offense than we saw in the first round. He was fantastic against Montreal and getting 4 goals. It's been a little tougher, I think, for him to get chances in this series. The pace of the game is really, really tough. But I think that finding Alexei Protas on that line, I think it's going to get better, because getting Protas back in that spot, and we saw that last night for the first time, getting elevated to the top line, it helps open up some time and space on that top line, and for Dylan to be able to get him the puck. I think there's going to be more looks for him moving forward in the series. The guy that I'm just so impressed by and so proud of is Connor McMichael. I mean, he has been, from the first shift in the first game against Montreal, he's skating 1,000,000 miles an hour. He's tied with Ovi for the team lead in goals. Just everything that, they had the playoff series with the Rangers, right? And it didn't go well. But for all those guys to be able to get that experience, go into the offseason last year and say, you know what, this is what we got to do next year. When we get back, this is what we learned against a good team. This is the level we got to get to. And nobody has done that better than Connor McMichael has.
John, talk about how this trip to Carolina is going to be different than the regular season. I think I heard you on with Grant and Danny that you didn't even get a chance to eat like a team dinner the night before the game, because they've been quick hitters down to Carolina, like on back-to-back games. Like this one, you'll actually be able to get there, settle in, and the team should be able to have a little more time to get ready for that road game where it's tough to get wins on that Carolina ice.
Yeah, it's like the ultimate first world problem, right? I haven't had Carolina barbecue in 3 years.
Right.
It's, because everything's been a back-to-back. So this year it was a back-to-back, and Carolina was sitting there waiting and had like 3 days off. So it was tough. But now you're finally going down with an even playing field where, Carolina had that week off, and then they had to come here, and now you've got the same rest, and you're going back, and it's going to be the same when they come back for Game 5. So, yeah, anxious to see what that does. I mean, both teams are going to ramp up, and Carolina's going to come out flying tomorrow night because they've got their home crowd behind them, and there's going to be a lot you got to withstand. But I think you get through that, and the way that Logan's going and being able to make the big saves at the right moment, he's the best goalie right now in terms of goals against average in these playoffs, and that'll go a long way toward trying to win a series. So, yeah, it's going to be great for barbecue and also great, hopefully, for hockey.
Yeah, Logan's been really awesome outside of that weird 5-game goal allowed in Montreal in that series. He's either given up 2 or 1 in every single game. He's been outstanding.
Yeah, I mean, the big save is what you need this time of year, and he delivers a lot. And, we saw it in the regular season. It's funny, his former team's down 2-0. Vegas lost again last night and lost both at home. So now the Golden Knights are struggling, and suddenly Logan thriving here and gets the series tied and hopefully can get a series lead tomorrow night. But they would not be where they are without the play of Logan Thompson. What a pickup last summer. A guy who earned the big ticket for the next 6 years, but not even $1 million this year coming in here and doing this. And the guys don't get paid in the playoffs. So unbelievable season. You talk about betting on yourself and turning it into a life-changing deal. He certainly did that this year.
John, what was your thoughts on Carb's decision to make Ryan Leonard the healthy scratch and put and activate Radish?
Yeah, I thought it was the right move. I mean, Ryan is a guy who's going to be really good for this team, but I think it's sometimes beneficial to see one from the press box. He's kind of caught a moving train here where you come out of college on the 1st of April and you played in every game. And, I think getting into the system sometimes it takes a little bit. And, there were a little bit of wheel wobbles in his game, but I think he's going to be tremendous. The thing I really like, and he will get back in at some point, I like his physicality, and I like the fact he doesn't back down from anything. Right. And that will be a benefit not only now when he gets back in at some point, but certainly in the future. Not a fight that kid won't back down from. So very, very bright future for him.
John, I don't ever take baths, but I would like to bathe in the tears of all the Tom Wilson crybabies that think he's just a one-dimensional goon-like player. I mean, that couldn't be further from the truth. Well, they don't
know hockey.
I mean, he scored over 30 goals this year, and we saw just in last night's game with him sprawling on the ice, blocking shots, going hard to the net, just doing all the little things, aside from having really good scoring prowess that makes him like a one-of-one type player in the league.
Couldn't agree more. And I had said at one point in the third period last night, before he got the empty netter at the end, I said, even though he doesn't have a goal or it doesn't necessarily have the points in the game, I thought he was the number one star even before that. And I was really glad that they named him such, because I thought that might have been the best game he's ever played as a Washington Capital. Just laying out, leading by example, throwing his body in harm's way, preventing scoring chances, helping out his goaltender, inspiring the rest of his teammates. I mean, 31 other teams would love to have that guy. I don't know that wasn't his best game ever. And to be able to get the empty netter at the end, to seal it, I thought it was only fitting, but man, oh man. I mean, just everything you want in a playoff warrior, that's what he was last night. And that's when you need everybody pulling on that same rope, but you need your leaders in the room to say, listen, this is how this is going to go down tonight. And I thought from the very beginning of the game, that's what he did.
John, enjoy your trip down to Carolina. Get that barbecue. And for the people that are listening, I've been telling you throughout the series, turn down your TV, turn on the Odyssey app, and say, play 106.7 The Fan, and you get the John Walton call of the Caps going forward. So we love it, and we're looking forward to the call again tomorrow.
I appreciate it so much, fellas. Thank you so much. Go Caps.
All right, thank you, buddy.
Go Caps. It's okay to believe.
It's John Walton. The counter currently has 11.
Oh, I'd love to take
that. Get it pumped when it gets to under 8.
Oh, well, that means they're in the if that happens, that means they're in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is the next step.
Series tied up at 1. Of course, our Caps talk is brought to you by Ace Computers. Ace Computers proudly recommends Windows 11 Pro for the U.S. military. Made in America. Check out acecomputers.com now. Comedian Rich Voss joins us in studio at 9:20. Mark Roberts, lead singer of OAR, next here on the Junkies.